Welcome back, True Seeker. One of the headlines today, Thursday, March 12th, 2026, is a mass shooting at Old Dominion University. And once upon a time, this would have been a big story. These days, it's just background noise. And a decade ago, when these stories got more attention, I wrote a book, Letters and Numbers, very long book. It's nearly 800 pages, and the longest chapter in that book, or actually it's the second longest chapter, is nearly 100 pages. It's about mass shootings by a code. And a prominent code that I point out is when 61 date numerology comes around, you see this terminology of active shooter. So today they say there's an active shooter at Old Dominion. And again, numerology is the practice of extracting numbers from dates. Gematria is numerology within words, which comes from Cabala. And today, March 12th, 2026, 3 plus 12 plus 20 plus 26 is 61. When you take the alphabetic order and apply numerology to each letter, active shooter equates to 61, just like Old Dominion. Again, there's a reason for the alphabetic order. Old Dominion University also equates to 119, as does Fraternal Order of Police. It's another number that shows up a lot in scary things on the news that are meant to take away your rights and liberties, to scare you out of them. If you look up the Fraternal Order of Police's logo, I do see I have a typo up there. That V shouldn't be there. It's just a typo. But if you do look up their logo, it has the all-seeing eye in it. That also equates to 119. The all-seeing eye is really your mind's eye. And the media, the government, they're constantly putting scary ideas into your head to justify taxation on you and the stripping of your rights and liberties. And again, you notice they really like to pick on schools because they want this younger generation to grow up and vote away all their rights and liberties. Goodbye Second Amendment, what's left of it? Goodbye First Amendment, what's left of it? And you notice with these onslaught of mass shootings, they've really attacked the First Amendment too online. People who've called out the curious details, the repetitive patterns. They've seen themselves deleted and censored over and over, like yours truly, who's lost over 20-some channels and pretty much been deleted from every single social media platform that exists simply for teaching about this information. Again, if you're new here, there are 4 base ciphers of the English language. The alphabetic order with numerology, the reverse alphabetic order with numerology. You want to know all 4 of these ciphers to see through the totality of these rituals. Today's shooting comes in constant Hall, which equals 139 like gun control. Another pattern I've been pointing out for well over a decade, the gun control code. And keep in mind, Freemasonry equals 139, so does America. Again, a nation founded by a bunch of Masons. The Fraternal Order of Police is Masonic. Notice that Old Dominion's establishment date is September 12th. And from today to the upcoming birthday of the school, it's a span of 185 days. If you run it in reverse, the alphabetic order in reverse, constant Hall is 185 rather than 139. And things like mathematics equate to 185 as well. Constant Hall and mathematics both have the 185 and 68. And if you're new here, 68 is a big number with CIA rituals. And of course, Old Dominion's in Norfolk, Virginia, not far from the CIA, not far from the Capitol. And the current governor there, who gave the retort by the numbers to Trump's State of the Union, Trump, this little 68 CIA pawn, this little puppet president here to polarize and divide, all part of the big psyop being waged against we the people, scaring us out of our rights and liberties, getting us to choose the lesser of 2 evils, to get further and further divided. Yeah, Donald John Trump's another big fat 68, and The Apprentice equals 68 too. Anyway, Abigail Spencer, the current governor of Virginia, is former CIA. Look into everything that went down in 1968. And also, interestingly enough, the mayor of Norfolk, where the campus is, Kenneth Cooper Alexander, his full name equals shooting, forwards and backwards, 107 and 109, just like shooting. And from the day he took office, July 1st, which is interesting, 7-1, because today's the 71st day of the year, the day of the shooting. But from him taking office until today is exactly 506 weeks in office. And notice Old Dominion has that 56. If you're new here, 56 and 61 are very special numbers. Washington, D.C., for example, equals 56 and 61. And a lot of these policies are coming out of the federal government, which wants to stampede rights and liberties and states' rights, and they very much have. And again, the capital was moved to D.C. by the Jesuits, and people have been warning about the Jesuits subverting the government since they came out of the suppression. John Adams and Thomas Jefferson warned about those Jesuits who gave us the language and the calendar, and they just happened to die together on the same day, July 4th, 1826. And then Monroe, who had similar warnings, died 1,826 days later on July 4th. But yeah, look how perfect this is. And the frustration is, I don't know how any educated person could look at this and just dismiss it in an instant, because this stuff is so perfect, it's improbable. Not to mention, we've talked about the same pattern hundreds of times now over more than a decade. Not to mention, I wrote a book about this a decade ago and said to look out for this exact pattern, which manifests all the time. So if you're at Old Dominion, fear not, fear not. That's what they want you to do. If you're at any school or university, fear not. That's what they want you to do. They want an entire generation to grow up with total fear, scared of rights and liberties, and to forfeit them so they can really be controlled with no chance of rebellion. Let's wait until we're in Larry Ellison's Orwellian nightmare, where he said almost 2 years ago now that he sees a future where every American is required to wear a camera and everything's under total surveillance by the AI. Again, they want this world where you are tracked every last breath you take, like that song that they had Sting sing on the 4th of July this past year. Sting of the Police, whose daddy, not Sting, but the Police, Stuart Copeland in that band, his daddy was in the CIA. Again, every breath you take, every step you take, I'll be watching you. The Police also did the song Murder by Numbers, where killing's as simple as ABC is 1, 2, 3. So anyway, the police state. Anyway, yeah, for all you people that doubt this, look into the CIA statue, Kryptos, which pays tribute to this practice of coding numbers into words. And then really think, if you don't think, your government is doing this to you, because no doubt they are. We've been proving it every single day. Again, come August, it'll be 13 years straight of being here every single day, exposing every last one of these stories in the national news. That's what it is, nonstop propaganda, contrived by this Kabbalistic code of ABC 1, 2, 3. This is a form of playing God for anyone who wonders why they do this. Look into Cabala. Until next time.